After you have established your course assessment plan and your course assessment findings, you're able to move into the final section of the assessment cycle, which is changes for course improvement. I'm going to select that. I'm going to check it out. Now it asks me, do I want to create a new operational plan or do I want to copy an existing plan as a starting point? We don't have an existing plan because we've never worked in Taskstream before, so we're going to create a new operational plan. Now we are prompted to select the outcomes, so those are the course learning objectives and outcomes that we want to write in these changes for. So I'm going to click Select Outcomes. I'm going to select an existing set, and the set that I have is the student learning outcomes for this course. I will select Continue. And now I'm going to select which of these outcomes do I want to identify a change for next year or next semester. I'm going to look at the scientific process component piece because I noticed that I had problems with it last year and I want to make sure that I address those problems. So I'm going to select this and accept and return to plan. Now I can see here's the student learning outcome that I'm working to accomplish, and I will add a new action. Now this section is asking me, do I want to include the findings that I had for the 2014-15 cycle to the changes for course improvement write-up that I'm about to do? It always makes sense to include previous findings, so I'm going to check both of these boxes and I'm going to continue. This way it closes the loop. It shows the findings that I had from last year, and now I'm going to attach to that the changes that I propose for next year. I'm going to be writing an action item title. Notice the word action. Action means something that we will be doing as faculty members to make an improvement in the course. When I click on this box here, it shows me the full finding details if I want them. So what I'm going to do is establish an action item that I'm going to take in order to achieve this particular measure. Because last year I did not meet the measure for the midterm exam questions, and I want to change that. For this particular action, I'm going to have an additional assignment on outlining the scientific process. So I'm going to include the action details. So prior to the midterm exam, I'm going to assign an in-class assignment where students will work in groups to outline the scientific process, and they'll be given a situation in which they must apply that process. I decided to do this as group work, both because I think it will be more effective in that students will be able to brainstorm together and rather than just consulting their notes, actually think about how to come up with this process, and also because I wanted my students to get some additional collaborative learning time. I will outline my implementation plan. So I will be doing this for the fall 2015, and I will indicate my measure. How will I know this is successful? It's really easy for people to get distracted when writing the measure and think more short term. So some people might write that the measure that they're using is that they assigned this assignment and students completed it. However, what we're really trying to get at is the midterm exam performance. We're trying to make sure that this supplemental assignment is actually contributing to students' ability to demonstrate this knowledge on the midterm exam. And so my measure is going to be, again, that 80% of students will receive full credit for both questions on the midterm exam. If I were to just say that students will complete this assignment and that's my measure, it doesn't tell me anything as to if this assignment is working to get closer to students understanding the student learning outcome. I will put my name in here, and then I will identify if there's a budget approval required. So some of the things that we'll be doing in our classes require additional funding. If we wanted to include clickers in our classroom, if we wanted to get a new software program, anything where a budget might be required, we would write yes in this section, we would identify what the budget amount is, and then we would select the priority level. So if this was an extremely high priority, we did not feel that students were in any way capable of reaching the student learning outcome unless we got this, we would select high, otherwise we would select low. As this doesn't have a budget approval required, I'm not going to enter anything into these sections. I will select Apply Changes, and now I can see here's the action that I'm going to be taking next year to get at this student learning outcome. If I wanted to add another action that is related to this student learning outcome, I would select New Action. If I wanted to go back to my list of course learning objectives and outcomes and select a new one, I would select Outcomes. I would select the new outcome that I wanted to measure, and then I would follow the same procedure, add a new action, and add all these details.